Hey there guys, PortalMaster9351 here, and in today's video I wanted to talk about a few of the concerns that I have for the upcoming game Starlink Battle for Atlas. Now I'm sure that by now you're very familiar with what Starlink is and when it's coming out. It's coming out in 1 month and a week from today. Very exciting stuff. October 16th, not that far away. But that being said, as much as I think it's a great game and I think it's worth getting hyped for, there are a few concerns that I have about the game personally, and a few concerns that I have about the game as a whole in terms of how it'll perform and do sales. Now, as the last true Toys to Life game, I personally think that I have a big reason to want this game to succeed. I think it could help kickstart Toys to Life returning if it does well enough and show that there is still a really strong market potential for Toys to Life, and so with that in mind, I really want this game to do well, but I do have a few concerns that I wanted to talk about, so I'm just going to dive right into those. The first major issue that I want to talk about is the seeming lack of advertising. Now, I don't watch Disney Channel anymore, or like any kids channels anymore, like I did when Skylanders and Disney Infinity and LEGO Dimensions were first coming out, but I seem to recall there actually being ads for those. I haven't seen any Starlink ads. Now, again, I saw a lot of those ads on things like Disney Channel. Don't watch that anymore. I'm an older person. 7 years have gone by since then. That being said, I still would have expected to see some sort of promotions for Starlink somewhere. Honestly, if I hadn't been looking for stuff on Starlink, I wouldn't have found anything. Now, if you go and you actually actively search up Starlink, you will find that there is a ton of articles on Polygon and, other websites that are dedicated to gaming and stuff like that. If you're in the community, if this is something you're interested in, you know about it. You know where to find information on it. My concern is the lack of advertising, because what that means is that the people that are not already interested in this game have no way of being exposed to it. The lack of advertising is a huge problem, as it means only the most dedicated people will actually go and be able to see stuff for Starlink, and that could really hurt its sales. There is press, there is trailers being released, but it feels like mostly it's by Nintendo. Of course, Nintendo has Star Fox in this game, and I think that's one of the big draws for Starlink. But the thing that it just feels like to me is that Nintendo is the only one marketing this game. Now, again, I know that this is a Ubisoft game. Ubisoft, of course, did Mario and Rabbids combined with Nintendo. Obviously, Nintendo was the main marketer in that game, but Starlink is not necessarily done in collaboration with Nintendo in the same way that Mario and Rabbids was. Mario and Rabbids was straight up co-produced by both studios, whereas you have a thing like Starlink and it's basically 100% Ubisoft with some with some Star Fox stuff thrown in there by Nintendo that even then Ubisoft still did the work for. So you can see that the workload is not split. It's pretty much all Ubisoft, but it still feels like Nintendo is the one marketing this, and it feels like the only thing that's being marketed for as a result of that is Nintendo Switch. It's like this game doesn't even exist on the Xbox One and PS4, and I seriously think that could be a detriment to its sales because it feels like it's only being marketed to people with Nintendo Switches, and then people will be disappointed when they can't play with Star Fox on other platforms. I don't know, maybe I'm making a bigger deal out of this than I should be, but it's a big concern I have for this game, and it's a challenge that they're going to have to work to overcome. Maybe they're going to kick their marketing team into high gear this coming month. I have no clue. I mean, that would make a lot of sense with the release month, but still, I would have expected to see some stuff by now. Maybe they're just going to wait until after it comes out, market it for the Christmas release. I don't really know. But still, the lack of advertising is a big concern that I have right now. But I am confident that Ubisoft knows what they're doing and will be able to overcome this. It's just kind of a matter of when are you going to actually start marketing this? I don't know. The high price is sort of an issue. Now, don't get me wrong. I actually don't think the prices are bad for Starlink. The weapon packs and the pilot packs are priced very well. The ship packs, however, are $25. But the thing is that there's actually a lot of content in those ship packs. You get a weapon, a pilot, and a ship for 25 bucks. That's not a bad deal at all. That's actually great. Originally we thought they might be $30 when we converted from Australian and European pricing. We thought, oh no, these pilot packs or these ship packs will be $30 instead of $25, which is what they of course are. I don't think that's a bad price. $25 for all that, not a bad deal. But the problem is, it is still a hefty price tag to put on one item for this game. Now, all of these are already available on Amazon. You can go and pre-order all of these ships. But the thing is, you buy all those ship packs, you're paying just as much money for the game for 3 additional items. Now, with things like Skylanders and Disney Infinity and other Toys to Life games, they were priced more individually. Yes, they had triple packs. Yes, that was a thing. There were adventure packs. There were bundle packs and stuff like that. But the main method of selling these guys was in single packs, especially for Amiibo, Disney Infinity, and Skylanders. But the problem is, this is a bundle, and expecting people to shell out $25 every time they want to add another ship to their collection is a bit extreme. I think that this can be overcome just due to the sheer amount of content that comes with each pack, but for now it's a major marketing issue that I think is going to have to be worked around. And also, we're going to run into the fact that not all people are going to want to buy a ship bundled with all that other stuff. What if they just want the ship? I think that's an issue. I think that's an oversight that they may have made when they were deciding how they wanted to package these guys up, and it's going to be interesting to see how well these things sell. Weapon packs, pilot packs, I think are perfect. They are done the exact way that they should be. I mean, seriously, I have no complaints there, but I am again concerned about the high price of entry for each pilot, or for each ship pack. Sorry, I keep saying pilot pack. Yeah, it's a concern. I think they can overcome it, but again, it's just another challenge that they're going to have to do. This game has a lot of potential, and I don't want to see it fall flat, because again, it looks to be such a good game. I am also slightly concerned that we could be overhyping this game a little bit. It has a lot of great features, do not get me wrong. When I make this video, I have another video coming out in a week, which is going to be like the top reasons I'm excited for Starlink. But don't get me wrong, I think this is a great game. I think it's going to be a great game. But there's always that chance of overhype. A lot of people called this, when it was first revealed, No Man's Skylanders, because it's Toys to Life in space. I don't really have to explain that. But the problem with No Man's Sky is, of course, it was way, way, way overhyped, and a lot of the features that the game has now were not there upon launch. No Man's Sky today is a very different game than No Man's Sky when it came out back whenever it came out. They're two very different things, but that being said, it doesn't change the fact that No Man's Sky was extremely overhyped, and there are a lot of games that can get easily overhyped or released as an imperfect form and then have to be corrected later. And I really don't want that to happen to Starlink. I think that one of the ways that this can be mitigated is by releasing Starlink as a finished product. No additional patches being necessary. Maybe to add more ships and content. I'd understand if they didn't put all of the ships and weapons in the base game. I understand that, because that is a completely different thing that would function more like DLC. I'm just hoping it's not like No Man's Sky and releases with giant features like multiplayer as a whole missing. Of course, that's not what they do, but like, what if we get the game and it's like, oh, we've only actually completed, you know, the main campaign. We have barely added any side quests. I know there are side quests. I know there are a lot of them, but what if it's not all there? And again, that's my main concern, that it's not all going to be there. And so I really think that this is going to have to be a challenge that they overcome to start with Starlink. They're going to have to release it as a finished product and make sure that it lives up to the hype. They need to make sure that all of these environments look as cool as they say they are, not just have 1 or 2 cool areas on each planet and the rest be a dull, monotonous area. It needs to all be exciting, all be fresh, and all be cool if they want this game to live up to the hype and not just be an overhyped pile of garbage. And I don't think it will be, but they still have to make sure that it's not. This last main thing that I'm going to talk about is probably the biggest issue that I've heard anyone talk about when it comes to this game. And that is that Starlink is coming really late into the Toys to Life game. Skylanders, well, the Toys to Life portion of that has already come and gone. Disney Infinity ended years ago. LEGO Dimensions ended years ago. Amiibo is still holding on. Lightseekers is MIA. We don't really know what happened to it, really and truly. So yeah, Starlink is like truly the last real Toys to Life game that we have right now. And that could be a good thing. It could get people that used to love Toys to Life, like myself, still do love Toys to Life, to buy in. You know, it's the only thing on the market. They're going to buy in now, you know, makes perfect sense. And I said that that might happen with Lightseekers, and well, it didn't exactly happen. It didn't really boost their sales like I thought it would. Starlink's a bit of a different beast than Lightseekers altogether, but still the fact that it is a Toys to Life game in a post-Toys to Life world is a bit of an issue and could be problematic. I don't actually know how this one's going to go though. The other ones I was able to say I really think that Ubisoft can overcome them if they just do X, Y, and Z. This is probably the absolute hardest thing for them to overcome. They cannot control what consumers want. They have to do what consumers want. They can't tell the consumer what they want, if that makes any sense. My point is, if the people of the world don't want Toys to Life anymore, they ain't going to buy Toys to Life, to put it simply. But if the people of the world have been missing out on Toys to Life and want it to come back, well, they're going to buy right into Starlink. And I think this is going to be the ultimate thermometer, if you will, of telling how the waters of the market for Toys to Life are. We don't really know right now if there's still public interest in Toys to Life. We do not know that. And Starlink will be a big indicator as to whether or not they will be. And if there is public interest in Toys to Life, the game is going to sell well. If there's not, the game is not going to sell well. The base game might sell well, but the add-on figures, they won't. Personally, I think that if the game sells well, the add-on figures don't, we could see later editions of Starlink with digitally downloaded stuff or just non-Toys to Life versions of this game later on. I think that they've invested a lot of money into this franchise. I don't think they're going to let it die off, even if the Toys to Life aspect does not sell well. But again, that is such a huge aspect that I absolutely cannot predict. But I will say, I actually do think that if Starlink does do well enough, it actually will bode very well for other Toys to Life games potentially making a comeback. Mainly Skylanders pretty much is the one in the best position to actually come back. But again, that's way off. But seriously, this is a big issue. Curious how it's going to be handled, and we're just going to have to wait and see. Wait a month and a week to see. So those are pretty much the biggest issues that are going to have to be overcome by Ubisoft if they want Starlink to succeed. They're probably the biggest concerns I have for the game. I'm sure that Ubisoft has thought all of this through, and I'm sure that I am not really doing anything that's not already known to them, but I wanted to bring attention to these issues to the general public, to the viewership of this channel, because I do think that these are going to be major obstacles as to whether or not the game is going to be good, going to sell well, and they're relevant pieces of information to keep in mind going forward in reference to this game. They really and truly are. So with that in mind, I'm going to end the video here. Tell me down in the comments what you think about all this. What do you think are some of the biggest issues that Starlink is going to have to overcome? Do you think they're going to overcome it? What about the whole Toys to Life testing? Do you think it's going to sell well because of Toys to Life? Not going to sell well because of Toys to Life? Tell me all of that down in the comments. Anyways though, that's all I have for you guys today. This has been Portal Master 9351. Remember to like, comment, subscribe, and shout out to all my patrons on Patreon, especially Liam Corner, The Collector Creepypasta, and Portal Power TV. That's all for now. See you guys next time.